Hey everyone, it's me Jay, and today I want to sit down and talk about something that I have dealt with throughout my transition. It's probably been the hardest thing that I had to deal with. It gave me the most dysphoria, and I know a lot of you guys have been wanting me to talk about my progress and how I did and got into laser hair removal. And I just thought it'd be really interesting to share with you guys the whole steps and the process of it all, because it is a very, very long process that takes a lot of time and takes a lot of patience. And I know how annoying it can be and how expensive it can be. So I just figured that I'd make this video to kind of ease your guys' mind, help you guys out, because for me it was definitely a difficult situation. I remember when I was looking for places to do laser hair removal, I first had to know what laser hair removal is, and I still don't quite know, to be honest. I know that a lot of people recommended either electrolysis or laser hair removal, but I've honestly heard a lot of people say they get laser hair removal first, and then they get electrolysis to kind of kill off the rest of the dead hair. But do your research into that. I recommend laser hair removal first if you do decide to do it, just because I feel like if it helps a lot more with darker hair, and I don't know, I just had a really good experience with it. So basically what you want to do is, I highly recommend going on Groupon, because I looked around local places where I live, and I remember going for consultations, talking to these different doctors, asking them, all these questions, and then they'd give me this ridiculous amount of money that I'd have to pay for a full face treatment, which is weird because a full face is considered a large area, but legs are also considered large areas with a lot of people, and that's just weird to me because the amount of skin on your legs compared to the amount of skin in your face is significantly different. So it sucks because you feel like you're going to be gypped out of money, and I know how expensive certain places can be. I had a place locally that told me they were going to charge me $1,500 for laser hair removal, and I was completely turned off by that number. I was like, oh my god, I can't pay for it, but I really, really need to do it. And I was honestly scared to jump into it. I waited a really long time before getting it done, just because I was scared of paying that much money for it. And honestly, it gave me a lot of anxiety. I wish that laser hair removal was one of the first things that I started doing when I started transitioning, or at least before I started taking hormones, because I know how much it would have helped in the long run, and I know how less anxious I would have been earlier, because I used to just have so much trouble covering it up with foundation, my 5 o'clock shadow. I struggled with it so much. But basically, I was struggling finding a doctor that had a good price for my laser hair removal, and then someone reached out to me and said, hey, you should check Groupon. And before, I was very wary about Groupon, just because, I don't know, I had this preconceived notion that Groupon was like a terrible thing, then like a shady site, and I don't know, I was just scared of it. But when I looked into it and I looked for different locations near my area, I started finding these really, really good deals for laser hair removal. Considering I was almost charged $1,500 for my full face, and to hear that I could just be charged $500 for my full face, I was like, hell yeah, let's get this done. So I found a place that was an hour and a half away. It said it was going to be $500 for my full face, and I was really excited. I was nervous about it, but I was like, all right, I'm just going to drive that hour and a half, because it's not going to be a big deal in the long run. I'm going to be saving a lot of money, and I'm just really, really excited to start it. I wanted to get it started. I was really eager. I think this was about maybe 7 months into my transition when I actually started getting laser hair removal. So I jumped into it, and I sucked it up, and I paid the money. I remember at first being really, really nervous because people were telling me how bad it hurt, and I was just really, really worried that I was going to be really bad sunburn afterwards. But I think the equipment that my doctor used didn't really leave a bad sunburn. I didn't feel sunburn afterwards. It just felt more sore, because the pain was really, really bad. Thinking about doing it, expecting not to be hurt by the process, I highly recommend you rethink that, because this was honestly the worst pain I've ever gone through, worse than a tattoo. Essentially what it feels like to me is very, very tiny pricks on very sensitive areas of your face, where it hurts the most. So imagine tiny pricks on your upper lip, and tiny pricks on your chin, and just places where there's a bone, and it just hurts because it's hot pricks, and the process is just annoying. And it's only maybe 10 minutes per session, but it seems way longer because you're just laying in there sweating because of how bad it hurts. And my doctor says that was really good, though. Apparently a lot of people scream saying stop, 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 but But I just sucked it up and I closed my eyes and I just let my tear fall while I was going through all this pain. And I did 6 treatments and I want to do more. I just don't have the finances to. But I'm really happy with the results that I did get. And it took about 6 months for other treatments to be done. But now that they're done, I'm so happy with the results. After the first time, don't expect like a huge difference, especially like on the first day. I know for me, when I first got it, I was looking at my hair, seeing if there was any differences. It's gonna take about a week before you start seeing changes after the procedure. It's honestly a great thing to know that I don't have to worry about this roughness on my face anymore. I used to do everything that I could to cover it. I bought like orange concealer to like rub all over my neck. And this very full coverage foundation to go on top of it. And my face just looked cakey all the time. And I live in Florida and it's so hot, so it's like a sweaty, gross cakey. And I'm so glad that I don't wear that much makeup anymore, because I just hated it. I hated that feeling of just my hair growing through my foundation and just seeing it, and I don't know, it made me really dysphoric, and it just really bugged me. So if you are thinking about doing laser hair removal, I highly recommend it. I had a great experience with it, and I'm sure that you guys will too. But like I said, expect the pain and expect to drop a heavy amount of money on it. Like I said, I had pretty thick hair from the beginning, and I still see some hair growth on my chin and my upper lip. So more procedures would be great, but I don't have any money for it. I'm thinking about doing electrolysis as soon as I can, but I still have no idea. So that's basically my experience. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I maybe answered some questions that you guys had. If you do have questions that I didn't touch upon, feel free to DM me and I might be able to help in some sense. I'm not an expert on this, I just am telling it through my experience. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to support me, I have my album, I have my Patreon. I'm struggling and it would help me out so much. And also, if you want to follow me, I have an Instagram and I have a Twitter. Those links will also be in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm really happy I could make this video for you today. I'll see you guys tomorrow and have a great one. Bye.